Good afternoon, guys. I'm back with another quick follow-up video to yesterday's video, and I wasn't intending to do this, but you were so generous in so many views and watches on that video. I thought maybe just a little quick catch-up on some of the background behind it may be of interest to you and things that have happened today since. So as I said, thank you so much for all the interest and all the lovely comments. All the involvement means the world to me, as you can imagine. So as I was getting ready to make that video yesterday, I spent the morning on the website deciding and configuring the machine that I wanted, which was not a clever move. You may have seen when I was live that I'd configured the machine, went to the basket, and then had a long delivery time, and that was because I had configured it. The first rule of thumb is go for the base models. That's the only configurations that Apple have available on pre-order day, certainly in these times of chip shortages. So I quickly went back, as you saw, and went for the base model. I'd intended to go for the 8-core GPU, 8-core CPU. I've ended up going obviously for the one above that with the 10-core GPU. When I was originally looking to get this MacBook Air, I thought I'd use it for a bit and then sell it on to a friend that had expressed a bit of interest in it. But I've changed my mind. Not good for a friend, but good for me. What I'm going to do now is use that at the office that you saw yesterday. I'm going to get rid of the 21.5-inch iMac. I'm going to use the M2, screen mirror that to the 27-inch iMac. So I've got a 5K 27-inch screen to be working off. That gives me great resolution to be working on whatever I'm doing, be it in Adobe, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Audition, whatever. At least I've got a good display to be working on. But I've got the power of the M2 behind me. Do you think that's a good idea? That's why I was going to go for the 1 terabyte of storage. Once I decided that I was going to keep the machine and actually use it as a workhorse. For instance, that 2015 27-inch iMac that you saw yesterday has only got a terabyte of storage on it. And it's been fine for all these years. So I thought getting a terabyte on the MacBook Air would be great. The 16-inch M1 MacBook Pro, MacBook Pro that I bought earlier this year has got 4 terabytes of storage on it. I went for overkill on that just to future-proof it. But yeah, so I couldn't go for the terabyte, obviously, because it's a longer delivery time, and I wanted to get the MacBook Air for next Friday on release day, which brings me to the next point. I'm not going to do an unboxing video exactly because other people are far better equipped and far better at it than I am to do that kind of video. But once I've received the machine and I've got it here, then hopefully next Friday the MacBook Air turns up at my door. What would you like me to do with it? What would you like me to see on day one? Obviously, I won't have any of my apps and I won't have the Creative Cloud suite of apps on there, so I won't be able to look at things like Premiere Pro and so on. It'll very much be out of the box. This is what we've got. I'll show you what it looks like, dimensions, weight to hold. I'll give my first impressions of it. Is there anything else that you'd like me to cover on a brief sort of undoing rather than unboxing video next Friday? If there is, let me know in the comments of this video and I'll make sure to try and cover all of those next Friday. I hope it doesn't turn up too late. I did try to arrange to go and pick it up. After you saw me order the Mac, I phoned Apple themselves, but they said, no, once it's ordered, you can't change it. And equally, on pre-release days, they don't deliver. You can't go and pick up. You have to have it delivered to your home address. So that's what I'm doing. So hopefully it doesn't turn up too late and I can get the video out. But if you were watching on that video yesterday, you will have seen that I ordered 2 things. I also ordered another one of these, a HomePod Mini. I've got one behind me at the moment, which for the last week, 2 weeks, I've been using instead of the soundbar on my television. I like the sound so much that I thought I was going to get another one and do this stereo pair thing. Now, I've never owned 2, clearly. So stereo pairing, am I walking into any nightmares or is it dead straightforward to do? I've been really happy with the sound on that one. I didn't get an original HomePod. If they do bring one out later this year, I'm probably going to try and get that and I'll let you know my thoughts on that near the time. But anyway, I've got this to try and sort out over the weekend. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to do it today. Probably not. Hopefully tomorrow. It should be fairly straightforward, setting them up straightforward, and I'm assuming once you've got 2, it just sees 2 and it does its thing. But if you set up a stereo pair, is there anything that I ought to be wary of before I roll my sleeves up and get into it? So thank you very much indeed for all of the views on that video from yesterday. It really meant the world. It was very different for me. Normally I spend ages in the studio setting everything up. As you can tell, I'm not in the studio again today. I decided to come into my living room because my studio is very small. It's not bad, but it's very small and very, very warm. So I decided to sit in the living room where it's a little bit cooler at least. We're experiencing a little bit of a heat wave here in the UK this weekend. It's around about 30 degrees, so it's super, super hot. By the way, also a podcast went up today as well with Dan Barbera, the editor for Mac Rumors. If you've watched Mac Rumors YouTube channel. You will have seen Dan on screen. I'm sure you know who he is. Well, there's a podcast of that. An audio version is available here on YouTube, and it's also on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And I'll leave a note for that in the description. Also, if you want to support the channel, I'm not yet monetized. I'm not at my 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers yet, so everything I do here is costing me, but there's a couple of ways you can help support the channel. I've left some detail of those in the video as well. But first and foremost, thank you so much for all the views and kind comments on yesterday's video. As I say, it was a bit of a leap into the unknown, but I'm glad I did it. This was a little follow-up just to let you know what went on the build-up to the video yesterday, and equally what my thoughts are now, what I'm going to do on Friday. Don't forget to let me know what you'd like me to do next Friday. Going to set up this hopefully over the weekend, if not next week for sure. And I'll probably be back during the week as well at some point. Don't know about what, but definitely next Friday. So be sure to let me know. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday, hopefully with the midnight M2 MacBook Air. Have a great week. See you soon.